Take a nice deep breath in with me. Hold and put the pressure against your lungs. Just try it. And slowly release. So I heard back to my previous video. I'm just stacking video on top of video, and I'm getting down to the bottom of the questions, getting towards the solution. So let's talk about transgenderism. All right. So I want to get into the genders. There are two genders, male and female. But all of a sudden, with this family, listen to me. All of the sudden, we have 1,000,001 other genders out there. Okay, I don't quite. Actually, I do understand it, and what's happening is wrong. It's not cool, man. So I have seen, and there's no fingers being pointed at me, not today, not tomorrow. I have seen in many cases in which these okay, so as a parent, okay, and I'm not a parent yet, but I can speak on the behalf. I'm speaking on the behalf of a lot of parents that I'm sure agree with me. So you cannot pump your kids full of hormones just because you want them to be your little daughter when they were born a boy. Okay, you can't do that. Now, why can't you do that? Now, let me go back to a story. I had a friend who had a pit bull, right? And this pit bull was being pumped with hormones, okay? And testosterone. And that's what basically, if you want your girl to become a little boy, or I don't know, man, it's all sick. This is my opinion. Keep that in mind. I'm sure a lot of people agree with me. Family, hear me out on this. So this pit bull, his name was Nichols. I remember his name, and he was a red-nosed pit. Pit bulls are not bad, okay? However, I could see in his eyes that he was on something, and he had this really evil look. And I looked into the kid's eyes that did the shooting, but I don't want to talk about the shooting. That's not what I'm here to talk about. But when I looked into the kid's eyes, he reminded me of this pit bull. And this pit bull, named Nichols, being pumped with steroids, decided he was going to kill his two fellow dogs, right? He killed two dogs, hopped the fence, okay? Because he was being pumped with steroids. And he hopped the fence. He went on a killing spree. Wait, there's more. He went on a killing spree, and they couldn't stop the dog, okay? Until he finally got hit by a car. Okay, now let's recap on this. Let me spin this back. Nichols was the dog's name, a red-nosed pit, being pumped with hormones, okay? He went on a killing spree, killed a bunch of dogs, more than 2 dogs. I think it came out to be about 5 dogs, and then got hit by a car. Does it sound familiar? So there are two genders. So for all you parents out there, and you need to think twice. These are not decisions for you to make on the behalf of your child. So now family, they don't want this agenda. They're saying it's a rumor. I'm telling you, I'm not going to get too deep into all that, but I don't believe it's a rumor. I can tell. How can I tell? Because I've been around them. You can barely tell the difference, especially when they get into that mindset. You know what I'm saying? But it gets even worse. So let's talk about the hormones being put. So you wonder why young women, okay, and they're developing quicker than than boys. It's because the hormones that are in the food is getting to the point where it's making them develop. Dude, we got girls hitting puberty at the age of 11 and 12 years old. That's off, okay? There's something off there. So that means all these foods that we eat, okay, and I am going to state this, and I have nothing against anybody who eats cows or deers, but you have to understand when a cow is slaughtered, they are in a state of fear. So when you eat the meat, you are essentially not consuming a soul. No. You're not consuming a soul. You're consuming fear. Okay? Now, let's go even deeper into the rabbit hole with this one. So, on the behalf of these irresponsible parents, okay, calling just because they wanted a girl or a boy, and then they take these hormones and they twist their bones, just like in Hocus Pocus. If you've ever seen the movie, they do a little spell and they turn Zachary Binks into a cat, right? It's the same concept, right? Zachary Binks, who lit the black flame candle? If you've never seen Hocus Pocus, don't worry about it. The point of the matter is, they're trying to cover this up. They do not want you to know that this individual was a transgender. They don't want you to know. I'm not laughing because it ain't funny. It ain't funny to me. It's not funny to me. So, brothers and sisters, with that said, understand, I just stacked 3 videos right in a row. So now you know. Understand what I'm telling you. I don't have anything against these transgenderism people, okay? They're still people, but you have to understand this. What is going through their mind, we can't comprehend because we, as male and female, don't quite understand the whole concept. And there's more. There's more. There have been plenty of cases where people at the bars, don't believe me, look it up. There have been plenty, and there's no fingers being pointed back at me. There have been plenty, and I've seen it personally. I've been in the bar and I've been hit on by these individuals, where a man will take them home and then find out they have a penis. This is, and don't laugh, this shit's serious. And then what do? They'll a lot of times these people go ballistic and they pull out their firearm and blow their brains out. Not their brains, the pervert that came onto them. So, if you're a transgender and you're watching this, you need to warn people before you try to sleep with somebody that you have a penis. Or vice versa. I don't really understand it all because I'm not really into all that weird stuff. It's just very strange to me and it doesn't really make all that much sense. So they are trying to keep it under wraps right now. Back to the pit bull story. Now you know. Raise your vibrational frequency. Open your heart space. Okay? Open your heart space. These are decisions to be made by these people when they're adults, and when they become of the age of 18, like I said, I'm gonna state it for the 5th or 6th time now, your frontal cortex is still not developed. Therefore, they're still making decisions prior to becoming an adult. So when you become 18 and you can't, okay, so when you're 18 you can't drink liquor, right? You're still not an adult. But you can go to war? Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So, my point is this. Be very careful when you're in the bar, because when you go into bars, right, or clubs, right, think about this. And please remember, when you go into bars, they're dark. They keep them dark for a reason, because you don't know who you're talking to when you're in a bar or a club. Now, why do they say club? Because when you go in, shout out to my mentor. They say club because when you go to a club, it's like getting beaten over the head. And yes, it is, because you're drinking alcohol that one is low shelf alcohol, you know what I mean? And, you know, ladies' night, they have all this weird. That used to be my scene. I used to do that. I know, because I was there. It's not my scene anymore. I've grown up. I'm grown up now. I'm an adult. So now you know, brothers and sisters, why this shit is going on, okay? And they want to cover, they are going to cover this, they are going to mask this as much as possible because they don't want you to know the truth. But now you know. And remember that pit bull story. With that said, raise your vibrational frequency, open your heart space, and listen to yourself. And to the parents out there, my recommendation is do not make decisions for your children just because they're running around in a dress. It's a phase. With that said, may peace be with you, and also with you. Think about what I said. Love is the key. I'm just saying.